Yes, once again, good morning to all of you. In the previous classes, we have completed the concepts which are related to HTML. Okay, in today's class, we are going to start the introduction about CSS. CSS means uh, cascading style sheets. Cascading style sheets. What is the use of this cascading styles means? It is used for to provide look and feel to a web page. We will use cascading style sheets. Okay, simply if you go for technical definition, CSS is a kind of styling language which is used for to provide look and feel of a website. For example, with the help of HTML, you will create a web page. Okay, fine. So for this web page, you would like to apply some kind of styling. For example, heading should be some color, and the arrangements of the layout or something, whatever it may be, like layouts, or simply we call it as a design of the web page, uh, displaying of different kind of text, display of text, all these various kind of things. How to display all these things, how to make style, that thing we can define with the help of CSS. Meaning that simply we can say that CSS is going to describe how the HTML elements of a particular web page should be displayed. That is defined by CSS. Okay, here the terminology, if you observe, cascading means inheritance. Cascading means inheritance. I hope you know the meaning of inheritance. Inheritance means it is a property of getting features from one place to another place. One place to another place. Another place. Okay, if you come to the concept of cascading style sheets, meaning that we are going to write all the styling rules at one location. All the styling rules at one location, and we can web pages, required HTML web pages. So we are going to make it reuse. That is the meaning of inheritance. Okay, style means it's a kind of format. It's a kind of format, right? This format defines the looks, the styles. These styles I'm going to define in the form of various kind of rules. What are these sheets? Sheets means various kind of pages. So simply what I can say that CSS is a kind of a text file, which contains all the rules which are used for or which are applicable for various kind of web pages. This is a simple like what is the use of CSS. Okay, fine. If you go for how to apply these CSS rules in our HTML, we have to know a particular syntax. That syntax is selector followed by flower parenthesis. In between, we have to write set of rules. First one is property 1 colon the corresponding value. Property 2 colon the corresponding value. And so on. Okay, here what do you mean by selector? Selector is to find or select an HTML element for which you would like to apply styles. Okay, see, this selector is not only a single selector, it can be a combination of multiple selectors. Okay, right now I'm giving the basic description about everything. So once you go through the concept, you can understand directly. Okay, Fine. For example, let me have a HTML element like h1 hello, closing of h1. So if you would like to apply some kind of styles to this one, text hello, first I need to access the corresponding tag. First I am going to access the corresponding tag. That is the meaning of selector. So selector means which is used for to find or select a corresponding HTML. This selector can be a one or more selectors separated with various kind of combinators. Various kind of combinators. What are these combinators? All these will explain the further sessions. So this can be a one or more selectors separated with combinators. I mean, so in simple words, if I give description here itself, one is a space, another one is plus, another one is a tilde symbol, another one is a greater than symbol. These are the various kind of combinators. Okay, fine. So property one means it can be any kind of an attribute like color colon. What is the value I can pass? I can pass the value like red, followed by a semicolon. Next, if you would like some kind of thing, font size, font hyphen size colon equal to 12 pixel. This is a kind of property, and whose property value is 12 pixel. Like that we can write. So this is the general syntax that you need to follow while writing any kind of CSS rules. Guys, while explain the division tag, there I have defined directly. So once you go through the concept of CSS, you can understand. That's what I said, right? So there you are going to write like this: style equal to height colon 500 pixel comma semicolon. Like this I have written, right? Now you can understand the meaning. So this is a kind of property one followed by property value, and so on. Like this you can write. Okay, fine. So there we have seen this kind of structure. So that we have actually seen in HTML. But if you go through in depth about this one, this is also a kind of CSS. This is also kind of CSS. Okay, fine. Anyway, let me explain now. Yeah. So generally, once you know the syntax of how to apply CSS in HTML, you can create this CSS in three ways. You can create this CSS in three ways. First way is by using inline styles. Second way is we call it as internal styles. Third way is we can call it as external styles or external style sheet antamma. We call it as external style sheet. I mean, generally there is some work. That what is the work? That work is I would like to apply styles to a HTML document. This work I can able to do it in three ways. There are three ways I can able to apply styles to a HTML document. One kind of way we call it as inline styles. Okay, so let us look in depth about every style. First way, let me take inline styles. So what are these inline styles? So these inline styles are used for to apply various kind of styles to an HTML element. But how we are going to apply the styles means by using style attribute. If we apply styles to a HTML element, we call it as inline styles. Like for example, right, as I have said, division tag. For division tag, I have written division tag. In the opening tag itself, we have to use the style attribute, style equal to double quotations, height colon 500 pixel semicolon, width colon 500 pixel semicolon, and something like background color semicolon, sorry, colon, yellow semicolon followed by, right? Like this you can write any number of rules. We can write any number of files. This way of applying styles we call it as inline styles. Okay, fine. So when we go for inline styles, so we will go for this inline styles if you would like to apply uh, definite or specific styles to every HTML element, then we go for inline styles. Okay, so let me go for the conclusion of three styles once again at the end of the after completion of these three styles. Okay, next one is internal styles. Okay, so okay, before going to this internal styles, let me go for the third way of style so that you will get very much clear. Third one is external style sheets. External style sheets or external styles, we can call it as. Okay, so in this way of applying styles, what we'll do is we'll take a separate document. And we are going to save that document with an extension of .css. And in that document, we are going to write various kind of CSS rules. And I have already created one HTML file. For example, j.html file. Okay, what are the CSS rules? These CSS are the various kind of rules which are available for this j.html file. Now, if I would like to apply this external CSS rules to this HTML file, we need to link these two files or not? Yes. For that, what we'll do is we will use a link tag. Which you already know. So link tag is used for to add external resources to our HTML file. So one of the example is to add external styles to our web page, we'll use link tag. So in that we have a attribute called href attribute. Href equal to something like jk.css. So that now whatever the HTML elements are there, for these HTML elements, the corresponding rules what we have written in the jk.css file will be applied. Okay, fine. The question is when we go for external sites. If you would like to apply similar kind of rules to all the web pages. All the web pages means it can, we call it as a website. Similar kind of rules to all the web pages. Then we go for external style sheets. Okay, fine. So I'm giving only definitions. Don't worry about the practical thing. Let me explain once completed of this concept. Yes, next kind of thing styles is internal styles. Okay, so this internal style, right? External style sheets. In external styles, we are going to write it in a separate document. Whereas coming to this internal styles, we are not going to write in a separate document. Meaning that all the CSS rules we are not writing. In a separate document. Instead, we are going to write all those rules in the between the style tag, which is available in which section? Head section. Okay, fine. When we go for this kind of internal styles, if you would like to apply similar kind of styles to similar elements within the web page, then we go for internal styles. Okay, let me summarize every kind of style sheet. First, let me go for the one kind of HTML file, like for example, j.html file is there. J.html file. H1 tag is there. One more H1 tag is there. One more H1 tag is there. Here it is hello backslash H1. Hi backslash H1. Backslash H1. Now I would like to apply for this one. The color is green. The color is green. For this one, I would like to apply the color is blue. I would like to apply the color is blue, right? Even though these two are available in the same page, same j.html page, and even though they are both are of same type, what they are asking for different styles. They are asking for different styles. This kind of thing where I explained. So that is the definition of specific styles. So even though for similar kind of tags, even though for similar kind of elements, they are asking for specific styles, then we go for inline styles. Then we go for inline styles. Okay, fine. When we go for internal styles, if they are within the web page, and they are asking for same kind of styles. For example, these people are asking for pink color. This H1 is asking for pink color, and this is also asking for pink color. Meaning that in my entire web page, similar kind of elements are asking for similar kind of properties. Then I can go for internal styles. Now, once again, I'm having one more file called k.html file. Here also I have a tag called h1, which is named like value like CSC. Now it is asking for some kind of color like red color. Now, which way of style I can go for here? I can go for either an inline style or I can go for an internal style. Why? Because this is a separate kind of HTML file. This is a separate kind of HTML file. Now my question is, the user is asking for here also pink color. Now what is our requirement? In this particular web page, H1 tag is there. H1 tag is there. They are asking for similar kind of styles like pink color. At the time, what we can do is we can create one external CSS file, something like a CSS file. Here I can write the rules for applying pink color. Okay, fine. So once I write the CSS file, what you have to do? You have to use the link tag in j.html as well as k.html. Okay, guys, don't worry about whether it is understanding or not right now. But if now I will take the execution part so that you will get very much clear understanding. Okay. Fine. So first of all, I would like to create one HTML file. Amma. One minute. Yeah. First, I would like to create one index.html file. I have created. Okay, fine. HTML. So this is basic CSS introduction. Okay, fine. Let me open that page. Yes. Yes. So anything is open here? Nothing. We didn't apply any kind of colors. Okay. Now what it is? Welcome to index page. Yes, we got it right. Yes. Now what I would like to do is I would like to apply first way of styles, inline styles. So what do you mean by inline styles? For example, I'm taking it as H1 tag. H1 tag. So I would like to get different specific styles. Then I can go for inline style. Style equal to, I will take color equal to red. Color equal to red. I will take font size. Font hyphen size equal to some 30 pixel. I will take text align equal to center. Okay, what do you mean by text align? All these, don't worry about that. What happened? It is getting with a red color, aligned to the center, and whose size is 30 pixel. Whose size is 30 pixel. Now I am having H1 tag once again. H1 tag. Now introduction to CSS. Welcome to learn styling language. Okay, fine. Now if I go for this one, how its structure? Its structure is different one. Now if I would like to apply different kind of properties to this one, then I can go for inline styles. Whose color equal to pink. Okay, I don't want to apply the center, all this. I would like to apply only this kind of styles. That's it. Meaning that even though these two elements are of same type and they are also type within the web page, I would like to apply different kind of styles. Then I can go for inline styles. Go for different type of inline styles. Now next we will go for internal styles. So in internal styles, what the meaning is, if you would like to apply similar kind of styles to similar kind of elements within the web page, then we'll go for internal styles. Now, for example, HTML, CSS. Now, for example, let me go for taking, instead of taking this H1, I'm going to take this as a H2. Observe the output. Yes, we got like this. Now, even though all these are H2, I would like to apply for all H2 elements, I would like to apply similar kind of styles. Then what I can do, one way is, observe, style color equal to pink. H2 style color equal to pink. H2 style color equal to pink. Now if I go for this one, yes. So with the help of inline styles also I can apply. But the problem is the same code I am writing multiple times or not. Style color equal to pink, style color equal to pink, style color equal to pink. Instead of that, what we can do is we can reduce this code by moving towards internal styles. How? So internal styles we are going to write within the head section of within the style tag. Style type equal to extra CSS. There you can write internal styles. Now question is how to write these internal styles. So you have to follow the structure of CSS, syntax of CSS. What is this structure? First one is selector. Followed by flower branches. Within the flower branches, you have to write the properties, corresponding property values. So what is the selector? For time being, try to know that this selector is a kind of element which you need to find or select an element. By using either HTML element name, or by using ID name of HTML element, or by using class name of HTML element. For timing, I am trying to define this selector as with the help of element name. What is the element name which you want to apply styles? H2. For H2, I would like to apply similar kind of styles. So that is the reason I am taking the element name as H2. So for this one, what is the property I would like to get? Color property. Value is red. Value is red. If you go for apply execution, you will get the same color. Wait, yeah. I have given red, right? So instead of giving red, I will go for pink. Yes. So if you would like to go for green color, now also it will get to the green color. Okay, so this is the concept of internal styles. Now you can understood that if you go for inline styles, you are getting the redundant code. Instead of that, if you would like to reduce that to few lines, we will go for inline styles. For example, I have taken H3. I taken H3 ECE backslash H3 H3 CSC H3 mechanical H3 mechanical. Now for all these three types, I would like to apply similar kind of style. Then what I can do, I can go for accessing that element with respect to the element name. Then I can go for writing various kind of properties. Color equal to, now I'll go for pink. This is the concept of internal styles. Okay, for example, I would like to apply some kind of background color. Then what I can do, so as body tag is only one is there, then I can go for simply inline styles. Background color equal to, I will go for orange. Like this you will get. Or else you would like to apply with respect to internal styles. Now also you can go for with respect to internal style. How we are going to access that element, body element, by using element name, right? What is element name? Body. Background color equal to. You can go for orange. Like this we can do. Now question is, when we go for external styles, for example, I have a new file. I'm going to save it with home.html. This is home page. I have taken one h1 tag, home page. So what I have written here? Okay, welcome to home page. Now I have taken one more file, control S, signup.html. Sign up page, h1, welcome to sign up page. Yes. I'll go for opening that. Yes guys, now we can observe this is the index page, this is the home page, this is the sign up page. Now my question is, I would like to get welcome to home page in the center as like this properties. Welcome to red color, center, and whose font size is 30 pixel. This is also welcome to sign up page should have the same properties. Now one way what we can do with the help of style attribute, I can do that separately. Yes, we got it or not? Yes. But the thing is, instead of writing all these sit in a separate page every time differently, what we can do is we can make all these rules in a external file, as these are all related to different pages. I have removed from main page also. Observe. Instead of writing all these rules separate pages, so to reduce the redundancy of the code, I can go for external CSS. What I can do, I can take a new file and I can save it with an extension .css. For example, you can save it with any name, but with an extension .css. Here we have to write those rules. What are those rules? I have used the rules like what? Color, font size. Okay, let me remember directly. Okay, so for which element I need to, apply these rules? For h1 tag. Wherever h1 tag is there in my website, for that tag I need to get those rules. H1 tag is there. H1 color equal to red. Color equal to red. And whose font size? Font size equal to 35 pixel. Font size is 35 pixel. And I have taken align text alignment. Text align equal to center, like this. So as I have written in only one location, If this file is related, if this file is linked to index.html file, these properties will be applicable to index.html file. If this file is related linked to home.html, it will be linked to applied to home.html. Observe how we are going to link this file by using link tag. Which you know already. Link style equal link relation equal to style sheet, text equal type or text or CSS, href equal to the corresponding jk.css. Now observe, if I refresh the page, those rules will be applicable. Now, is it applicable to here? No, it is not applicable, even though I refreshed. Now, what I will do is I can make link it to home.html file. Link it to home.html file. Now, observe, sign up not applied, home.html, home page applied. Now, if I copy it to that, the same thing. Now, all these rules are applicable to everywhere. Yeah. Okay, fine. Meaning that, so for example, I modified this color to something like pending. I'm taking as yellow. So it will be applicable to all the locations. That is one more advantage of CSS. Meaning that we'll write the code at one location. We'll write the rules at one location. If we would like to apply global change, it is easy for us to modify the code. This is also one of the advantage of CSS. Okay, fine. So as we are getting the advantage point here, let me explain the advantage of CSS. There are various kind of advantages. One is it is going to save our time. It is going to save our time. Why it is going to save our time? Because we are going to write the code at one location. And we are going to reuse the same code at multiple HTML web pages, right? So as I have written the code at jk.css file, and I'm going to reuse that index page, home page, and lineup page. That is one of the advantage. And also one more thing is it is easy for us to maintain. Easy maintenance is also one of the advantage. So what is the meaning of that? If I am trying to modify this to red color, it will be automatically updated to all the locations or not? Yes. So that's why we call it as easy maintenance, meaning that global changes can be done easily. And one more thing is it is platform independent. So you know the meaning of platform, meaning that if I write the code at one platform, that code can be applicable to can be executed in any platform, and whose look and feel will be same. In all the platforms, irrespective of type of platform. We have developed the rules of the CSS. And one more thing is offline browsing, meaning that these CSS rules can be executed in offline also. These are some of the advantages of CSS. Okay, fine. So this is the way you can apply various kind of styles. For example, Amma, for example, I would like to apply background color of the web page to orange for home.html file as well as signup.html file. So but in the first index.html file, what I did is I have written the internal style sheets. Now what I can do, I can copy this code, I can paste here inside the style document, style document of sign up page also. What happened? Yes, this is orange, this is also orange, this is also orange. Now my requirement is I would like to modify my background of all the web pages to something like pink color. Then what I have to do, I have to go for every page, and I have to modify it to pink. Sorry, I think this is open multiple pages. What I have to do? Yes, this I have to do with pink. This I have to do modification. See, observe, maintenance is difficult. Now F5, F5, F5. But the problem is you need to move to every file and you have to modify. Instead of that, what we can do, we can go for directly an external CSS file. Here you can access that element with respect to element name. You can write here background color equal to. I can go for yellow, orange once again. I can go for orange. Now observe, is it applied? No, it is not applied. Why it is not applied? Because we have already written the code here. Guys, there is some priority is there between this internal and external style sheets. Let me explain that now itself. Now we can go for applying this. Yeah. Okay, fine. So if you would like to go for global changes, if you would like to have same properties for various kind of elements in all the web pages, then we can write those rules in an external CSS file so that those rules will be applicable to all the pages. Okay, so here my point is why in the previous execution the color is not modified means, for example, there is a h1 tag whose text is hello. Now for this one, I can write inline styles way, or I can go for internal styles way, or I can go for external styles way. So here I'm trying to apply same kind of styles, different kind of styles for the same kind of element. So here, which is going to give highest priority to inline styles? If there are any kind of inline styles, then it will execute the inline styles for this one. If there are no inline styles, then it will execute for internal styles. If there are no internals, then it will go for external styles. But the first highest priority given to inline, next highest priority given to internal, next priority will be given to external styles. So, but in the previous case, what I did is here internal styles I have defined for the body tag. That is why this body tag code is executing. For example, here observe, here I'm going to write one inline style equal to color equal to I think we have written here red, right? So we'll go for with yellow. Where in home.html. Now observe. So here it is not applicable. Here if you go for this one, here it is applicable, because here we have written for this h1 we have taken inline styles. For the same h1 we have defined the global style sheets also. For the same h1 color red, but the priority will be given to inline styles. If there are no inline styles, then go for internal. If there are no internal, then only it will applicable for global style sheets. Okay, now These are the three ways we can apply styles in CSS. Yes, you can apply the styles. Okay. Now here we are getting some kind of question now. The thing is, we can apply in three ways. We can apply in three ways. One, if you are trying to apply with the help of inline styles, we'll simply go with an attribute called style attribute. We'll go with an attribute called style attribute. If you go with internal styles, or if you go with external styles, you go with external styles or internal styles, you have to write for internal styles within the style tag. Within the style tag. For external styles, we have to go for an extension .css, and you have to make it link with the link tag. With the link tag. But the thing is, while writing within the style tag or while writing within the CSS file, you have to first access the corresponding element. We have to first access the corresponding element. How we are going to access the corresponding element? By using selector. By using selector. By using selector. What is the selector? Up to now, what I have shown. See, let me go for that statement first. Selector. So this selector means which is used for to find or select an HTML element which you would like to apply the styles. For example, let me go for this H1, right? I will go for here. H2 is an element. For this one, I would like to apply the color like green color. That is the reason I have taken a selector as H2. Okay. So the meaning of this one is I would like to apply these green properties to this H2 element. Okay, fine. So to find or select a HTML element, we can do it in multiple ways. Up to now, I have defined only one way, that is with the help of element name. What is the meaning of element name? H1 is an element name. Body is an element name. That is where I have written. Okay. The another way is I can go with access an element or finding an element with respect to ID. Or another way is I can go for to access an element with respect to a class name. Or we can go for with the grouping of these selectors. Okay, we can call it as a element selector, ID selector, or class selector. So when we go for element selector, so in element selector, we are going to select an element. Based upon the element name. In ID selector, we are going to find or select an element based upon the ID name. In class selector, we are going to select or find an element by using class name. Guys, you know, in HTML, while discussing the HTML, I have defined a tag, any tag. That tag is something like tag name, opening of tag name, closing of tag name. And for every tag name, we can use ID as an attribute, we can use class as an attribute. Both are meant for what? To identify an element. So if you are trying to access this element, for example, I am writing like H1 ID equal to H1 ID equal to H, class equal to, I am taking K. I have written hello, closing of H1. Now the first way, if I go for first way, I can able to select this data with respect to element name. What is the element name? H1. Then what I can write? H1 followed by set of rules. I can select this one. Second one is with help of ID selector. So if you would like to access this particular hello with respect to ID name, we can able to do. But the thing is, while accessing with respect to ID name, you have to prefix with a symbol called hash symbol, hash k. If I write like hash k, the same meaning. The same meaning. We can able to access that same thing with respect to class name. But thing is, if would like to access with respect to class name, I have to prefix with an operator like dot operator. Dot, sorry, this is hm. This is hash h. This is dot k. So this is dot k. I'm sorry. This is hash h. This is dot k. Okay. So these three having same meaning. But the thing is, the way we are going to access, this is with respect to element name. This is with respect to ID name. This is with respect to class name. With respect to class name. For example, let me go for here. Let me go for here. For example, I am writing h2 id equal to j. id equal to j. So for example, here if I write like as I am writing with a hash symbol, so as I'm writing with the id, I'm trying to access with respect to id, I can go for hash j. Go for hash j. Now what will happen, guys? The color green will be applicable to only this one. Welcome, introduction to CSS. Welcome to learn styling language. Observe. It will applicable to only this one, but not for HTML and CSS. For example, I can go for here id equal to L. id equal to L. I can go for hash L, color equal to again pink. For that one it will be applied. For that one it will apply. For example, I am taking the class name. For example, I am taking the class name. Class name equal to H. Class name equal to H. Class equal to, once again I will take HM. And I will take H. So as I'm trying to write with respect to class name, I need to write with respect to dot operator. Dot H followed by color equal to, I am taking it as yellow. Taking it as yellow. Now refresh, what will happen? Observe, guys. Is there any effect here? Is there an effect here? No. Here, the priority, as I am trying to write similar kind of styles, the hash j is applicable to introduction to CSS. Welcome to learn styling language, and this h dot h is applicable to the same thing. Applicable to the same thing, and both are of type internal styles. That is why it is going to take the first one. Why it is taking the first one? Meaning that if we are trying to write by varying with respect to the selectors, the first priority will be given to element selector, and next priority will be given to ID selector, next priority will be given to class selector. Next priority will be given to class selector. So as I am written like with respect to ID as well as class, so first priority will be given to ID selector. First priority will be given to ID selector. Now if I remove these two, remove these two, those properties will be applied. Observe, class equal to h, class equal to h. So for dot h, I have written the color as yellow. Color as yellow. For example, now I have modified this color to green. Color to green. Font size. Font size equal to 35 pixel as like as heading. Background color. Background color equal to, okay, I will take, let me take yellow. Don't worry about the look and feel. Let me take the observation. Right? What happened? Yes. So meaning that so these three properties I'm trying to apply for this introduction to CSS as well as HTML. So first I need to access those elements. As I have access with respect to class name, I need to write like with the dot operator followed by H. That will be applied to all the things. So this is the way we can able to access the elements. So meaning that I can able to access with respect to element name or ID name or class name, or it is a combination of multiple selectors. It is a combination of multiple selectors separated with combinators. Separated with combinators. So what are these combinators that we will see for further in further sessions? Okay, let me go for give the small difference between this ID name and class name, ID selector and class selector. So ID selector means like as your ID. So how is your ID in our college? It is unique, right? It is unique. It is unique. So the same property will be applicable to ID selector, meaning that in HTML, ID name should be unique over the entire web page. ID name should be unique over the entire web page. Whereas coming to class selector, the class name can be duplicate. The class name can be duplicate. There is no problem of writing the same class name for multiple HTML elements, but the ID name should be different. I hope you understood. So right within the web page, I have written like this: h1 ID equal to h once again. ID equal to h once again. Now what will happen is this will doesn't provide an error, but it doesn't execute. Meaning that within the HTML web page, the ID name should be unique, should not have the same name. That is a property you have to follow. As we are trying to follow this property, with the help of ID selector, we can able to apply unique styles. We can able to apply unique styles. With the help of class selector, we can able to apply similar kind of styles. Similar kind of styles. Observe guys, it is not only within the page. Within the page, for example, I would like to, for example, I am taking this body whose name has ID as B. Index.html page ID name as B, and here also, what happened? Here also body name as B. In signup.html body name also ID name as B. Body name as B. Right? Instead of selecting the body of every web page with respect to element name, I can go for accessing with respect to ID name. With respect to ID name. Now observe the same. What happened? Okay, is it okay? Yes. Or else, for example, I would like to go for with respect to class name. Class equal to P1. Class equal to P1. Class equal to P1. So instead of accessing with respect to ID name, I can go for accessing with respect to class name. That is why I'm taking dot B1. Dot B1. Now, so for making you are comfortable to understand, I'm taking it as pink. Refresh, applied or not? Yes. So that is the way we can able to access an element. Now the question is, when we go for grouping of selectors, we go for grouping of selectors. Now let me show the thing. Here, what happened? Here, for example, I am removing with respect to HM. I'm removing with respect to H class name. Now, for example, observe. I would like to apply for these three: introduction to CSS, HTML, CSS. I would like to apply similar kind of properties. For example, I can go for hash J followed by set of properties. What is the properties? Color equal to yellow. Now, for HTML, I need to apply, right? For HTML, I need to access the with respect to ID name hash L followed by color equal to yellow. For the CSS also, I need to apply. For example, okay. So this also ID, right? ID equal to M. Hash M. Color equal to yellow. If I refresh, all these three having same color. Guys, observe the same thing you can write with respect to here, right? Style equal to color equal to yellow. style equal to color equal to yellow, style equal to color equal to yellow, you will get the same output. Then why you go for internal styles? Is there any use? No use. But the thing is, there is a use by combining these three. By combining these three, meaning that what I can do is instead of writing, so how we are going to write comments in CSS? Right, so in CSS, the comments are we can write the comments in CSS is like this one. Forward slash followed by star followed by set of statements, set of non-executable statement. For example, aligning of aligning of text followed by star followed by. Okay, same multi-line comments also the same thing. I can go for writing like this. Followed by. So the thing is, in HTML, comments are like this: left angular bracket followed by exclamation mark, followed by 2 hyphens, followed by set of statements, followed by 2 hyphens, followed by right angular bracket. In CSS, comments are like forward slash followed by star, followed by set of statements, followed by star, like this. Okay. Now the thing is, I can go for comment all these. I have commented. Now observe, you'll get nothing output. Now what I can do is, instead of doing the same, writing the same code again and again, what I can do is I can go for grouping these 3 selectors. What I can do, I can go for accessing with respect to ID name hash j, comma, hash l, comma, hash m, meaning that for which element you would like to apply similar kind of styles, I am going to make it separate with a single comma, color equal to yellow. So this kind of thing we call it as grouping selectors. Grouping selectors. Now, these are the 4 types of selectors. Okay, so in the next class we'll see the same concept of selectors with respect to the combinators. Okay.